button here which you can turn down for the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I actually turned it down, and it was still loud. It was absolutely outstanding. The game for 60, 70 minutes was the best I've seen as well. I mean, Jurgen Klopp just said it there, didn't he? You know, they didn't play well in the first half, but in the second half, it was just electric. And nobody really deserved to win the game.
No.
In regards to the effort that they both put in and the way they both played. I didn't want any fans to go away losing the game either. To be there, it was an absolute pleasure. It really was. And to see some of the goals we've seen, some individual performances from some older players and some younger players, very, very good.
Just before we see the Liverpool goals, it was very noticeable during the first half when it was all City. The camera panned on Jurgen Klopp. You wouldn't have seen this, obviously, because you were there. Yeah. And we could all see what his mouthing. Be brave.
Yeah.
Just explain to everybody why he said that and what he meant by that.
Two things, really. Be brave, take the ball in difficult situations. So take the ball when you're under pressure. And be brave and go and press City high up the pitch. And they didn't do that the first half, Liverpool. They were way off what their normal pace is. But the advertisement for a game for the Premier League, standard-wise and benchmark, and when you set a bar and go, that's the standard.
That's
it.
So
when you're Chelsea and you're Man United and you're Tottenham and Arsenal, you want to try and get close to Man City and Liverpool, it's because of this fixture. Yep. And this fixture, every single season, delivers. It's one of them fixtures where, you know, before this game, there was 10 fixtures in all comps. Liverpool had won 4, City had won 3 and drew 3. So it tells you that's always going to be tight. It might be the odd 4-1, but normally over a piece, the results are going to be tight. And this game was, I agree with Dion, it was a brilliant game to watch. And Jurgen Klopp said it best, where he said, I wanted all 3 points, but I've got a brain. I realised that a draw was the right outcome. You hear Mo Salah there, I wished it had been 3 points. I wished we had won. But we know we were in a game, and it was just one of them games where you just sit back and you go, that's a proper game of football.
Yeah. And we saw a proper Liverpool performance in the second half.
Yeah, we did.
And when we have a look at their goals, the first goal, they are being braver. They're playing it out from the back. There's suddenly options, aren't there? There's suddenly impetus.
Yeah, I don't know what Jurgen Klopp said, but they were very, very different. I mean, the movement. I mean, the ball's great, the goal's finished, but the movement from Jota and Mane, as well as Mo Salah's done his skill.
And this one.
Brilliant. This is, I can't explain what happened. I didn't know what to say on the radio. I didn't know how to explain what had happened. I thought, what is he doing here?
There, that little... We'll see the replay. That drag back,
it's just everything about the goal, which he's in control of that whole situation. I'll let Don talk through the replay, but it's amazing.
There'll be some techie guys out there on social media, Instagram, whatever, and they could easily superimpose Mo Salah's red kit into a Barcelona kit, and they could easily put Messi's face on Mo Salah. And it's like the two of them, the way they play the game, the balance. This is what you wanted, Klopp. Take it in a tight area. Look, you've got 3 players around you. Wriggle out of it. Feint to shoot on your left foot. Drop inside Laporte. Can you finish? Yeah. You know, Messi's been doing this for like 12 years.
Here's the drag. This is it there. Look, that. And then fair enough from Laporte, because you don't want Salah on his left foot in there, do you? So he hasn't done the wrong thing, has he? So if you're on your right foot from an arrow.
So if you're Laporte and you allow Mo Salah to shoot now, we're all saying, you should have sent him on the outside of the right foot.
What are you doing?
And you try and do that,
and then
he finishes it. So it's like, sometimes you just got to appreciate genius. And I've been pretty consistent with Mo Salah. And I'm more serious now than I think I ever was by saying, and I'm comfortable saying it, at this present time, he's the best in the world. When you sort of say that and you say the words come out of your mouth and you still think in the back of your brain, Messi and Ronaldo, and there's other little contenders.
He's delivering, isn't he?
What you say is a completely defendable position.
At this present time, form-wise, he's the best in the world.
I was very lucky. I saw Messi on Tuesday in Paris. He scored a brilliant goal. But apart from the goal, nothing like the all-round performance of Salah at the moment. No question.
Salah's out there on his own.
And you were saying superimpose his head and put him in a basket kick. Could almost superimpose the goal he scored against Tottenham 3 years ago from not a dissimilar position.
Yeah.
Right-hand side, Anfield Road end, wriggling through players.
But it's the balance. It's the close control. It's, you know, me and Dion could never, ever, ever dream of pulling that off, because we're just completely different players, and you get
we're just clumsy.
No,
we're just clumsy.
But like we're just built differently, and you get like a diminutive player. I mean, I go all the way back to someone like King Clancy. I played against him many a time. I couldn't get near him. No. These diminutive players. I played against people like Prozoneski. I played against some of the best players in the world, and I played against some of the Russians when I used to play in the Cup Winners' Cup for Liverpool. And you get these little diminutive players that you just think
low centre of gravity.
You don't know which way they're going. No. And when you think you've got them, the King Clancy's and the Messis and the Mo Salahs, they wriggle out of it by dropping a shoulder. And then it's the fact that we're quite long in terms of our stride. Yeah. We could probably outstride people, but he does it over like,
quick feet,
you know, there's drills going on where boring people to death, where the coaches and the sports scientists would have ladders and do lots of ladder work, and it's fast twitch fibres. Yeah. All for moments like that.
You know who else growing up with one of your all-time heroes, Liverpool hero, Keegan? Low central gravity.
Absolutely.
Boom, boom, boom. Don't know where he's going.
Quickly. You know, the beauty of that game yesterday and being there was they were going at it, hammer and tongs, these two players. The fans were, the managers were. But as soon as it was finished, the respect that they showed for each other was just brilliant. Yeah. And, you know, I think we were watching that edit while you said, that's the advert. That's the advert for the Premier League. You know, wanting to win every single time, but respecting each other.
Because you've got to have that bit of spice.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And the atmosphere, like Dion said, in the stadium.
It was incredible.
And this fixture, with the quality of players, with the quality of managers, always makes for a great
This is the rivalry, just at the moment, despite Chelsea being European champions, this is the rivalry of the last 4 seasons, no question.
It's the biggest game of the season right now. It is. Right now, it's the biggest.
Because it's the marker. It's like City can't afford to lose against Liverpool and vice versa.
So Gary Neville, who was commentating on British television yesterday, gave joint man of the match awards, which quite often is a cop-out, but wasn't yesterday, to be fair to him. Salah and Phil Foden. Foden was absolutely fantastic as well. He got the first equaliser for Manchester City. Could have scored before that as well. And Dion can talk us through his entire game, as it were, from Phil Foden's point of view, because he was brilliant.
Yeah, his body language is great. His first touch is great. You know,
score here?
I think he should finish first time there. As soon as you take a touch, keeper's going to come out. Yeah. Always puts himself in an area where he can either deliver. He had a little look up twice. You could see that there was space at the far post. De Bruyne makes it. Terrible header from De Bruyne. Not one of his skills. This one here, he's looking up again. He's thinking, who can I pick out? Who can I pick out? Leaves it into an area where somebody should be. Who could that be? A number 9, maybe?
A number 9.
A number 9, maybe.
Now, here, the equaliser, first touch.
First touch wasn't great. Makes the angle even harder for himself. But the finish, there's a few replays of this. It's absolutely outstanding. Yeah. See this one here? He brings it back. There you go. A little dummy from Kyle Walker. And there you go. See, I'm not sure if De Bruyne pushes Kyle Walker in, ready for the dummy, the vision of Foden to see what pass do I pick out. I mean, how old is he, 20?
20.
He's 20 years old. He's got another 20 years in the game.
I'm laughing. Ibrahimovic is 40. He could do, yes.
Can I just
very quickly make a point of asking, is that Diego Maradona Silva that I'm watching for Man City? Because the last couple of games,
brilliant.
Has been off
brilliant
shots.
Man of the match at Stamford Bridge, wasn't he?
By far was man of the match. And the run that he had for that Phil Foden chance early on, where he's wriggled about past 10 players twice. 20 players he's wriggled past.
Funny how it goes, because he was going to go in the summer, wasn't he? He wanted to go back to, we thought Madrid to Atletico, and yet he's you know, established in the team.
One of the older players, sounds silly, one of the older players is not even that old, is he?
No.
But taking the lead, you know, De Bruyne taking the lead, being the responsible one, Kyle Walker, those kind of players, and then you've got the Fodens and the young lads coming through as well.
Hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Good afternoon.
I've got a feeling it might be a busy day today.
Are you donning your armour for what's coming next? Let's go. Let's have a look then. Paul Tierney was the referee. It mainly involves Foden and Milner. Outside the area for a start.
Yeah, it is. It's a foul.
It's a foul. Which Paul, wasn't given,
Which wasn't given. Paul doesn't blow the whistle. There was a little trip just outside the box. And obviously, there was a couple of talking points from this game. I mean, just to the contact.
Well, that's a clear foul, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a foul. Yep. And I think if the referee blows the whistle, probably a yellow card as well.
Chris, are you just giving that as a foul on the edge of the box? That's it, nothing else. You yourself, from what you can see.
Yeah, I mean, there could have been a caution there. He's made a genuine attempt to play the ball, I think. But it's a trip, it's a foul, it's outside. It's certainly not a penalty, and that's what people were shouting about yesterday.
Maybe in the speed and the context of the game, I think you just give a foul there, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, what you say is where you get that contact outside the penalty area, it's actually, you see where he lands because he's travelling that fast. You can see it from there. Look at that. What's he landed in?
And that's the hard part. When you see the contact from Milner, he clips his right ankle, which then hits his left calf.
Yes.
So when you're running at top speed...
Doesn't take much to bring you down,
What's the contact here? Look, that's always going to bring you down.
Yeah. I think it's one of those you say, if he gives a yellow, you wouldn't complain. If he doesn't give a yellow, you wouldn't complain. But give the foul.
You have to give the free kick.
You've got to give the free kick. OK, so that's fairly straightforward. The problem happens in the second half, doesn't it? The problem comes with Milner and Foden every time. He gets a booking in the end.
Yeah, he does, and he was,
which is
he
probably
was
the
well
toxic
worthy
up
of this
process.
one. I mean, Foden's in possession of the ball and he's clearly getting
Such a
away,
good
and
touch.
he just hauls him to the ground, doesn't he? I mean, he's not even challenging for the ball, and quite rightly gets a yellow card. So there's
So
no
far,
problem
so
with that
good.
one. Yeah.
I mean, this is the worst one of the lot.
Yeah.
Because this is cynical.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a cynical foul from James Milner.
Paul Tini,
Look at that
who's
angle there.
refereed the game, has looked at this and has probably, I mean, I've not spoken to him, that just felt that it was a foul. He's probably had no information from the assistant.
I don't think
referee
Pep
to
agreed.
help. No, he didn't.
Mike Dean's pretty calm, though.
Yeah, I think when Paul has the opportunity to reflect and look at that, he'll probably, by his own admittance, say he should have been a second yellow and Milner should have been sent
Do you know
off.
what I'm stunned by? And the innovation and the technology in the Premier League throughout the years has been fantastic. And every single season, the technology is getting better. I'm still stunned a little bit how a second yellow card doesn't get reviewed by VAR. Now, it might be something that I campaign on from now on. That might be my new little thing that I sort of get off my chest every single season.
He has to have something, doesn't he?
all the
Absolutely.
time, all the time. Yeah.
So I am not saying. So maybe we could invent something where it's only going to be second yellow cards that VAR can get involved with. You wouldn't want to see that VAR micromanaging every single yellow. But when there's players potentially on a second yellow card, which is going to lead to a red card, I'm stunned they don't check that. Or there's not a process in place for them to check that. Because it's going to equal the same outcome as a red card.
Yeah, I think if you're checking second yellows, you're duty bound then to check the first yellow.
No,
aren't you?
but make that an unwritten rule. So you're only going to check a second yellow card because that's leading to a red card. Because you check a red card on offence. So 2 yellows equals red.
What you say is perfectly logical. It's just a question of how much we want to interrupt the game. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying.
Because I think we're all sitting here now saying James Milner should have been sent off.
I mean,
And VAR don't get involved in that.
Are we not re-refereeing football matches then?
No, but
Bob?
that's why I'm saying only on second yellows. Because because I would imagine there's scenarios in games which would be quite few. Players on a second yellow card equals red. I would imagine.
I think your instinct's right.
It's not going to be 4 or 5 times a game.
No.
I mean, one a game maximum, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you were successful with your handball and your offside, weren't
But would you agree with that, or would you say nonsense?
I think leave it as it is.
Okay.
I mean, that was as cynical as you could get, that foul, wasn't it? I'm looking at Don now. He's looking the other way, stretching.
He knows he's been done.
He knows he's been done. He's stretching his leg out.
You know, it's one of them.
Couldn't be more cynical.
It's one of them, Mark, where James Milner, and I've been there before, you know exactly what you're doing. And you are absolutely shattered because Man City down that left-hand side, you know, were just causing him all sorts of problems. And it's one of them where you're so knackered, you make a lazy little leg to sort of go like that and trip him. It's so cynical. It's not like a leg break, I don't get it wrong. It's just a case of, and then as soon as you do that,
you're thinking,
you know, I'm getting sent off.
Correct.
I'm getting sent
Absolutely.
off. I am. And then it doesn't happen, and James Milner's like,
and then immediately Jurgen gets him off.
No eye contact, no nothing. Get him off straight away.
I mean, Pep Guardiola said after, he was absolutely fuming. And I think for once we can understand why a manager slightly lost it on the touchline. He said afterwards to the written press, it was like playing at Old Trafford. That's a barb, isn't it?
I don't know what he's talking about.
So listen, we don't have a dog in the race. And personally, I was actually really happy that City equalised then because I felt that was fair, because I felt if they'd lost and that had happened in Liverpool, say with 11, which all we'd be talking about today.
Well, Pep would have went ballistic, and it might not have been in a nice way.
Exactly. So actually, Rodri at the end to save the points with a brilliant piece of defending.
It was outstanding. I'm literally behind in the stand.
You're thinking 3-2, aren't you?
I'm in the main stand. I can see what a touch. He's got. Oh, here we go.
Take it first time.
No, he can't take. You can take it first time if you're a left footer.
Yeah.
But you can't really take that first time. It's a great first touch. He's done everything right.
Yeah.
Apart from put it in the back of the net, it's a great. Look where he comes from. Just dives in, lunging. That is
like Dion. It's
amazing.
Like the more time you see this, especially this angle here, you think,
not score.
Hit it.
You just can't get your legs moving quick enough.
It's like you're going to watch that another 100 times. You're going to expect them to score.
That's like scoring a goal. That's an incredible bit of defending.
And that's the beauty of players like us who are in the